Meta thinks your ads suck. Just kidding. They just need refreshed. In this video, I'm going to talk about creative fatigue briefly, what it is, what metrics to look out for, and how to remedy. Okay, in Meta, I want you to keep an eye on the delivery column for your ad set or your ads because that is what will show you whether your creative is fatigued or not. Meta will let you know. So there's two types of creative fatigue or indications that your creative needs refreshed. Number one being the creative limited delivery. So CPA, your cost per result in Meta, is greater than your previous ads historically in the account, but is less than 2 times as much. So less than 2 times the CPA. Meta will give you this creative limited notification. Okay, so creative limited is a bit of an early indication that your cost per result is starting to go up and that you need to swap your creative. But creative fatigued, the other notification in the delivery column, is when your cost per result, so your cost per acquisition, is greater than your previous ads and is also greater than 2 times as much. So creative limited, less than 2 times as much, that CPA of previous ads. Creative fatigued, over 2 times as much. So really need to swap these out. So whenever you see that creative limited, that's the time when it's like, okay, we need to start iterating and making some new creatives and get them into the account before the creative fatigue actually sets in. All right, we want you to get on top of creative fatigue with your ad account. So the best way to stay ahead of this is start swapping in creatives before they're actually listed as fatigued or limited. And some metrics that we can look out for. Number one, the trend in your cost per result. So your cost per acquisition for particular ads and keeping an eye on how that's trending over the last several weeks. That's number one. Number two would be paying attention to what's called frequency. Now, frequency is the amount of times that a person on average saw your ad within a given period of time. So if you look at let's say a 7-day look back window and your frequency, let's say, is a 3. And it's an average, so it could be like 3.2, 3.3, but let's say that it's a 3. If your frequency is a 3 over the last 7 days, that means the average person who saw your ad has seen it 3 times in the last 7 days. Now, the higher that frequency, the more likely there is to be fatigue, because if someone is seeing the same creative over and over and over again, people are going to get sick of it, sick of seeing the same ad, and the metrics are likely to drop. Now, that's not always the case. Some ads just crush it and continue to crush it even if people see it multiple times. But that's just a general metric to look out for. And then last, and I just said it, is conversion rate. Keeping an eye on the trend in conversion rate for particular ads over whatever period of time you're looking at. Maybe you're comparing the last 14 days to the period before that. Obviously factoring in things like changes in the offer, on the landing page, seasonality, etc. These are the things that I would pay attention to anticipate creative fatigue. And these are the two ways to remedy that creative fatigue status in the delivery column for your ads or your ad sets. Number one, and seems to be the most obvious, is swap out the creative. Bring in something new, refresh the content. If it was a top performing creative before it started to get fatigued, find elements of it that you can add and iterate on to create a new ad that maybe has a better hook if the other one did not have as good of a hook, or a better message, or a better offer, a better call to action in the video or in the text, whatever. And actually, something else on swapping out the creative. So Meta actually has a help article. And in the help article about how to address creative fatigue, they actually recommend keeping the existing ad live and not necessarily swapping it out. I don't really agree with this approach, because what I've seen in accounts is that Meta will continue to allocate the majority of the spend to the ad that has the most engagement. So if it's an ad that's been live for a long time, it has likes, it has comments, it has shares. So if you add a new creative in, it's still likely that Meta is going to allocate the majority of your budget to the old one that is fatigued, that isn't performing as well, because it already has that existing engagement. And that's kind of a signal for Meta, at least in my experience. Number two, expand the audience. Go more broad. That means you can reach more people, and when you reach more people, frequency is going to be lower. It's less likely that the same people are going to continue to see that over and over again. You're not going to get that creative limited or creative fatigue status as quickly. Hope this helps you. Iterate, make better ads, swap them out. Don't want the audience to be fatigued.